I found a video of myself sleeping, taken from the floor. Tonight's story is about realizing the room wasn't empty even when you were. I woke to the soft glow of my phone on the nightstand, unlocked and blinking as if it had been waiting for me. The screen showed a single file, unnamed, numbers only, and a thumbnail of my bedroom from a strange low angle. I didn't remember recording anything, as my phone had never left the charger. No tripod. Nothing could explain it. I sat up slowly, scanning the room. Door locked, windows closed, its closet shut tight. Nothing had moved. The video began quietly, black for a second, before the microphone picked up slow, deliberate breathing. I saw myself sleeping, turned slightly, mouth parted, unaware of anything outside my dreams. Then, something entered the frame. Low, crawling, kneeling. The angle made it impossible to tell how tall it was. A mask appeared. Smooth, pale, tight over something uneven beneath, catching the faint light from my bedside lamp. It didn't move quickly, just shifted enough to hover over the edge of the bed, waiting for something I couldn't see. My body stiffened. It's not fear yet. Recognition. This presence had been here before, even if I couldn't remember when. The breathing changed, slower, more controlled, as if syncing with mine, learning how I moved while asleep. My hand twitched. The mask mirrored it instantly, precise, uncanny, deliberate in its imitation. I leaned closer to the screen. My chest burned, but I had to see it. I couldn't stop. It hovered near my face, inches away. The mask seemed to stretch slightly as if containing something that didn't belong. Teaser. The video cut abruptly. It's nothing left but blackness and the faint hum of my phone. I checked metadata. No timestamp, no creation date. Nothing to confirm when it had been filmed. I scrolled for other files. None existed. Just this one, mocking me silently. I deleted it twice, emptied the trash, restarted the phone, tried to convince myself it had been a glitch. That night I left my bedroom, lights on, sleeping on the couch, staring at the dark hallway. At 3:12 a.m., my phone vibrated once on the coffee table. Not a notification, a single pulse. A new video appeared, its thumbnail darker, angle lower, the bed empty. My breath caught before I touched it. I carried it into the bathroom, locked the door, pressed play. The camera tilted slightly, catching the floor in the corner of the bed. Movement. I was there, standing in the doorway, completely still, wearing a smooth mask I didn't recognize on my own face. The breathing in the recording wasn't mine, came from somewhere else entirely. Close, alive, patient. I felt my stomach drop. A tree. This wasn't a prank, not an accident. Something had been watching, learning every night. I tried turning away, but my eyes refused, its compulsion stronger than fear. I watched until my neck ached. The masked figure stayed, shadowed, silent, as if it were studying me, predicting every blink, every breath, every twitch. I sat down, hugging my knees, realizing I had become part of someone else's story. Time passed differently. Seconds stretched into minutes. The air felt heavy, charged, like it was waiting for me to move. I tried to rationalize. Sleepwalking, recording glitch, staged joke. All failed under the weight of certainty. I deleted the second video, but could still feel it in the room, hovering, patient, just beyond the visible. By morning, the couch felt too small, the shadows longer, the silence heavier. Every night since, I leave lights on, doors locked, windows shut, but the sense of being observed never fades. Sometimes I hear breathing when nothing else moves. My mind's without reason. A shadow lingers, just out of view. I stopped sleeping fully, short naps only. My body trembles constantly. I check the corners, the floor, even under the bed. I've started recording myself intentionally, hoping the mask will appear in a way I can control. It doesn't. It only mirrors me. Waits, learns, watches. I write this because staying awake is slightly easier when I focus on words instead of shadows. I haven't deleted the videos. I can't. They are warnings I don't understand, proof that something is still here. Every sound in the house, every flicker of light, every breath I hear feels like it belongs to someone else entirely. If you ever wake to a video you didn't record, check twice. The drone might not be empty either. I can hear it now, just beyond the bathroom door. No, I haven't moved my eyes in minutes. No, and I know blinking will bring it closer. My security camera keeps skipping. It's the worst part. Tonight's story is about realizing the footage never shows what you most need to see. I installed cameras after the noises started slow scraping, footsteps that weren't mine, shadows that didn't belong. First, the footage looked normal, just me moving through the apartment, my cat wandering, the occasional light flicker. Then I noticed the gaps. The camera skipped exactly 3 seconds every night at the same time. Not glitches, not buffering, just blank space, and something always changed afterward. A chair slightly moved, a door left open, marks scratched into the wall that hadn't been there before. I slowed down the footage, under frame by frame. The 3 missing seconds became an obsession. I realized I could hear it on the audio track if I listened closely. Slow, deliberate breathing, too steady to be mine. The first night I caught it, I froze, heart hammering, my own breaths echoing against the silence. I considered it a coincidence, or maybe a glitch, something my mind could dismiss. The second night, the skip happened again. Same time, same interval, same sudden change in the room. I left my apartment briefly after the recording, tried to come back with fresh eyes, convinced I'd imagined everything. The hallway smelled different when I returned. Stale, metallic. Not like me. Not like anything I'd smelled before. I checked every corner. Nothing moved. Nothing appeared. Nothing but the still shadows cast by my lights. Then I noticed the scratch marks in the bedroom. Fresh, across the door frame. Long, deliberate, impossible to ignore. I rewound the camera obsessively, hoping for something, anything, but the missing 3 seconds were clean. The footage resumed with a subtle change, almost imperceptible, but I could see the difference. An object in my room had shifted. Not enough to be obvious, but unmistakable. I started recording everything, in every room, multiple angles, trying to catch the 3 seconds in real time. Nothing ever appeared in full, just the aftermath. Just the evidence that someone or something was there. Breathing continued in the gaps. A reminder that presence isn't always visible. I tried staying awake, watching the screens, hoping to catch it live. The anticipation became unbearable. Every shadow seemed to stretch differently. Every reflection in the windows became a threat. Every small sound amplified. I began leaving the lights on constantly, screens bright, doors locked, but the camera still skipped. Sometimes I could hear faint movement behind me when reviewing footage I'd just recorded, though the room was empty. The third night, I woke to the sound of scraping against the bedroom wall. Not loud, just enough to wake me. I checked the monitors. Nothing. The skip had already happened. I could feel the presence, but could not see it. I left my apartment for hours the next day, convinced leaving would break the pattern. but it didn't. Came home, its footprints in the carpet. Not my shoes, not anything I could explain. Stayed disconnecting the cameras, thinking the phenomenon depended on recording, but it didn't matter. The missing seconds continued, breathing in the gaps, its movements just outside visibility, evidence left behind, inexplicable. I began sleeping lightly on the couch, lights on, phone recording, screens on. But it followed. Footsteps, breathing, scrapes, always just after the gaps in the footage. Always near enough to notice. I've stopped trying to leave the apartment alone. I check every corner, every angle, every shadow before moving. Recording everything doesn't help. Nothing helps. The missing seconds are still there, and whatever exists in them is patient. I know it watches me, learns me, waits for mistakes, predicts my patterns. I'm writing this while recording. The cameras are on. I'm telling myself that if someone reads this, it might make a difference, but the gaps are still coming. 3 seconds, missing, uncatchable. Every night, I feel the room differently. Every night, I hear it closer, breathing slower, deliberate, almost satisfied. I don't leave. I don't sleep fully. I exist around the gaps, hoping the presence doesn't realize I'm awake enough to notice. I don't know how long I can keep this up. The 3 seconds are patient, endless, and waiting. And I know one day I'll blink or turn away and it will finally fill that space. The man outside my window is copying me. Tonight's story is about realizing someone isn't just watching, they're learning. I first noticed him because he didn't move like a normal person, standing under the dead streetlight across the road, motionless, facing my window. He wore a mask, pale, tight over something I couldn't quite make out. The streetlight highlighted edges that shouldn't exist. At first, I thought it was a passerby, maybe someone waiting for a ride. But then I realized the light never hit him perfectly. He didn't shift, didn't breathe audibly, didn't look away when I stared, just waited. I raised my hand slowly. A test. His hand rose in perfect sync, the angle identical to mine. I froze, tried lowering it. He mirrored the motion instantly. Too exact, too fast to be coincidence. Atanda. I stepped back from the window. Atanda, he stepped back as well, mirroring each movement with unnerving precision. Ka. I pulled the curtains a little, thinking distance would hide me. Hay leaned closer, head tilted, still perfectly aligned with my posture. My pulse spiked. Something about the calm stillness was worse than any sudden movement. I tried turning away, walking to another room. He followed, not physically, but exactly in the direction I moved. The streetlight flickered, shadows shifted. He didn't. His reflection never appeared in the glass, but his alignment never wavered. I considered calling the police, but what would I say? There's a man across the street copying my every move. T would laugh. I tried to rationalize. Maybe he was homeless, maybe a prank, maybe coincidence. None of it explained the way he mirrored every subtle gesture. My nights became surveillance. Lights on, his phone camera pointing at the window. Every reflection checked, A-angle scanned. The first night I recorded him, the footage showed the street empty for hours. When I zoomed in on the time stamp, he appeared suddenly, perfectly framed, perfectly still. I paused, rewound, and realized the moment he appeared wasn't gradual. He was just there, as if he had existed between frames. I tried speaking, called out. My voice carried through the thin glass. He didn't flinch, didn't respond. It only mirrored a slight tilt of my head. As the next night, I left the window open an inch, thinking distance might deter him. He stepped forward exactly that inch, aligning perfectly with the open gap. Sleep became impossible. Every sound outside felt like him. Every shadow that stretched across my wall became him. I began to test him. Small movements, quick gestures. He matched all of them, every time, patient, calculating, watching me anticipate his motions. I stopped leaving the house. I stopped moving near the windows. I tried to ignore him. He didn't leave. T couldn't leave. Sometimes, when the street was empty, I thought he would disappear, but the shadows never changed. He existed just out of peripheral vision. I began writing in the dark, hoping he couldn't see the words. But even the pencil movements seemed to trigger subtle shifts in his posture. Tried blinds, curtains, fakes. Nothing worked. He adapted instantly. Every new obstacle accounted for. The realization came slowly. He wasn't following me. He was practicing me, learning me, mapping my patterns. My apartment felt smaller each day. Every room a trap. Every corner a potential observation point. I even tested my own reflection. Moved my hand differently than normal. When I turned back to the window, he mirrored the new gesture instantly. I can't sleep without feeling him near, perfectly synchronized, patient, waiting for the moment I let my guard down. I don't step outside without looking across the street first. T's always there, even if I can't see him through shadows or blinds. Sometimes, I think he knows me better than I know myself. Every blink, every breath, every small adjustment accounted for. I've started recording everything, tracking his positions. The footage always shows the street empty, yet the feeling of being mirrored persists. He's patient, silent, inhumanly precise, watching until I falter, watching until I make the smallest mistake. Even when I leave, I feel his presence in memory, like he's tracing my steps with invisible hands. And now I realize the truth. It's not about what I do in my apartment. It's about what I allow myself to do. It will wait. And when it's ready, it will step inside the pattern it has been mapping for months. I can't leave. I can't sleep. I can't blink. And every time I look across the street, he waits, exactly where I last thought he would. There's a figure in my house that doesn't move until I blink. Tonight's story is about realizing the moment your eyes betray you could be the moment everything changes. It started with a hallway I didn't usually notice, shadows pooling where the light barely reached. First I thought it was a coat, or maybe a tall shadow from the lamp. I froze. The outline didn't sway, didn't breathe. It was just still, almost unnatural in its posture. I stared for a long time, counting my own breaths, hoping my brain would label it as normal. Then I blinked. It had moved closer. Not fast, not enough to be shocking, but enough to make my stomach drop. I forced my eyes open. My vision burned, but I couldn't look away. The hallway was empty again. The light was normal. The air didn't change. I laughed, too loud, too fast. My body shook, but I tried to convince myself it wasn't real. I blinked again, closer. The mask wasn't smooth, not quite. The till cracks, textures that shouldn't exist, stretched over something beneath that defied recognition. I started leaving lights on, checking corners, scanning shadows, hoping movement would make it leave. It didn't. It waited, patient, observing me through gaps I couldn't fill. Sleep became impossible. I tried the couch, the living room, even hiding blankets over my head. Every blink brought it closer. Every twitch of my eyelids betrayed me. I tried taping my eyes open with anything taped cloth, even just forcing them painfully wide. It didn't matter. My body decided when they closed, and it moved then. I recorded myself one night, hoping to prove it didn't exist. The footage captured me, sitting wide-eyed, rigid, whispering not to blink. Then a shadow moved in the frame, not fast, not dramatic, perfectly aligned with my own posture. The mask leaned closer. The air felt heavier. I could see texture in it now, faint lines, almost skin-like, but wrong. I tried to speak. My voice barely formed a whisper. The figure didn't react. It didn't need to, just waited, learning, observing, patient beyond human understanding. Days blurred, nights blurred. The hallway stretched endlessly in my mind. I began counting my blinks, measuring every second, every forced movement, every twitch. Even when I avoided the hallway, it found ways to exist in the periphery edges of vision I couldn't ignore. I stopped eating properly, stopped sleeping properly, stopped pretending I was safe. Recording didn't help. Watching didn't help. Being awake didn't help. I considered moving, but even that felt pointless. It didn't appear in the footage, yet it was always there. Every shadow in the house, every faint light reflection, every pattern of the floor became a potential space it could occupy. Started keeping a journal just to track its movement. Every blink, every step, every tiny sound noted. It learned faster than I could record, smarter than my patterns, always patient, always still, until the precise moment I blinked. I don't blink much anymore. My eyes burn constantly. My vision tunnels. My body shakes. I haven't slept. I don't leave the house. I only exist in long stretches of unblinking attention. And I know when I blink, it will move closer. I write this because keeping it in my head makes it heavier, makes it real, makes the pressure slightly more tolerable. Every hallway, every room, every reflection is a threat now. Every second my eyes close is a gamble I can't afford. It waits, patient, still, inhuman, beyond comprehension. And one day, one blink, I know it will be closer than ever before. I just hope I survive long enough to see what comes after.